today's session. We will be starting our session now. I hope I am audible to everyone. If I am not, please raise your concern in the chat box. So today's webinar is on design automation framework from scratch. There are few ground rules for the webinar which we would like you to tell before starting the webinar. First one is we will keep you on mute during the session. You will be unmuted at the end of the technical session for QA and round. In case somebody wants to speak any of the queries in between of the session, you can type in the chat box and our expert will reply to it. Secondly, this webinar is recorded, so you will get the recording of the session later for your reference. So let me quickly introduce myself. My name is Prakhar Romer and I am a marketing expert for DevLabs Alliance. So coming to the next slide before starting the technical session, let me give you a brief intro about the company. So DevLabs Alliance is the leading provider of technical training and consulting services. So technical training are one of the top trending trainees and workshops. So we provide SDET and automation training, robotics, data science, machine learning, DevOps, blockchains, performance testings, and soft skills also. We have presence across various continents, Asia, Canada, and US. And also, we are having very rich pool of IT professionals, consultants, and advisors in the respective segments. For more information, you can visit our website. Okay. So there are many of the competitors available in the market, and now why you choose us over the other competition? That's why that's what I'm going to cover in this slide. First one is practical workshop with zero theory. Our sessions are completely hands-on with use cases and assignment oriented. We have limited batch size so that you can get the focused attention. Our trainers are subject matter expert and have real-time training experience. Our course curriculum is designed as per the industry standard. So there is an on-spot offer who want to enroll the course at an discounted rate of 10%. This This discount is valid only till tomorrow. There is the code displayed on the screen. Who wants to enroll for the course can enroll to the course by clicking on the link. Our batch site is very small and we are going to start a batch very soon. Now I'm going to give you a quick introduction about the trainer. Our trainer are real-time industry practitioners who are giving who are working in different global MNCs and are having very rich experience in automation. Now, yes, you can take control over the screen and continue. So without any further delay, I am giving the control to Mr. Yash, who is our presenter today. Thank you.
Hello everyone. Good morning, good afternoon, good evening to everyone. Okay, so let's start. Let me share my screen. Once it's visible, let me know. Is it visible? Yes, everyone. Okay, let's just check chat. Okay, thank you. Okay, so first of all, we'll start with the automation thing. But before going to the automation, right? First, we want to understand like what we are covering, what is the vision of this or the agenda of this session. So we'll cover the pain points of the manual testing, then advantages of the automation testing, then introduction to Selenium, and the primary language that we will use in our seminar is Java. Second, we will go with the API testing. We'll just get to know okay, what is API testing, when to use it, right, and how we can do the automation of it. Okay, with REST assured, or also you can use Postman as well. Then we'll understand why Java only, and then some career opportunities we'll discuss, and then we'll demoing it. Okay, and we'll integrate our automation thing scripts that we have written with browser stack as well as with Jenkins. Okay, so let's get started. So first of all, we'll understand why automation is necessary, right? Whenever you are learning something, so first thing when we are learning it, right? So first thing that we'll get to know, okay, why we are learning it, what is the need of it, right? So why we are learning the automation? So the pain points if we'll see of the manual testing, it's very time consuming. All right. So if you'll see, if I want you to test a login feature with 10 users, right? So what you will do, you will give your username, right? And then password, the sheet that I have shared with you, right? You have to write it again and again and give the password, click on the submit button. And let's suppose this task 10 times every day, you need to log in 365 days. So you can imagine it will be time consuming and repeated work. So no one will like it. Right. Every day morning you will come, log in with the 10 users, you will verify whether the login is successful or not. And then you will create a report. Yeah, it is pass, fail like that for this user. This is the privilege and all. And then you will share with your upper management. Right. But again, the pen over here is it's time consuming every day. From Monday to Friday, you will do this thing only. There is no learning. All right. So right, if we have a very steady flow, we never like it, right? There should be some dynamic change, there should be some challenging task, right? And every day doing these things. So this is a very critical or very important, I could say, a pain point of manual testing, right? And as it is repeated and time consuming, definitely it will leads to tedious and boring work. I have given a very small example, right? A very basic one to log in, right? Let's suppose if you have 7 to 8 portals, right, to test. Okay. So for one is for registration, one is for booking, all this if you want to test, like we have an example, like, right, in India we have Ola rights. Ola means you can book Ola rights to go from to any destination, right? You can even buy some electrical vehicles through that Ola. It has also grocery items. You can order a grocery through that same application. Let's suppose there are 7 more significant application of the Ola. Okay. And if you are a only manual tester, right? So it's very hectic for you to test all the flow, whether payment is working or not, everything manually, right? And again, it will be time consuming, right? Requires a testers all the time. This is a very important one. All right. Let's suppose if you are running some test cases, all right, manually. So you have to only click on the submit button. You have to only go to any of the tab or validate. Okay, this is written over here. Let's suppose if you want to validate a thousands line keyword. Okay, 1,000 lines you want to validate whether everything is as per the document or not. So every day you will come, every day you will validate, okay, 1,000 lines is there or not. If it is there 999, then you again have to rework it, recount it, right? So requires a testers all the times. You need to do everything, right? And you can't escape from your job. You have to do it, right? And high risk of error. This is again an important one. Let's suppose again considering the same example, we have 1,000 lines written. You need to compare each and every line as it is per the document or not, or it is a user input, right? So you need to every time you need to count, okay, 1 2 3 4 5 up to 1,000 if the lines are thousands or not. Let's suppose if you have missed some lines, okay, the count is 999. Then again you need to count it because it can be a chance like you have forget to count one more line. Then again you will count it. Again time consuming will be there, right? And risk of error will be high because we are a human, right? 100% testing can't be done there because we have all we have a different mindset, all we have a different opinion. If we'll see, just for an example I'm giving, no one can test 100%. This is a testing basic law. Okay. Let's suppose an example I will give. There is very good YouTube video, right? It's very good, highly motivated, and it's good for all generation, even from small to, there is no vulgarity, everything is very good, right? Very pure video is there on YouTube. Okay. But you can see, right, we have dislike button over there. Some of the people who have very different opinion, they can dislike it. Same is the case in the testing, right? So there can be a defect, there can be a chance of defect. No one can say, if you are automation engineer, if you are a manual tester, no one can say, right, like you have the, like you have you have like 100% guarantee. Now I have tested this feature, it has zero bug. It is not at all possible, right? But the automation, if you are writing the automation, right, there will be a very less chance that you will commit a mistake. Okay, but in manual testing, you will do repeat and repeat. If you want, I have to count this 100 lines again and again. If you will count again and again this lines, right, there can be a chance that, yeah, there is a chance of high risk. You will omit some lines and all. But if you'll write a script which will count, okay, the 1,000 lines, so it will never do a mistake until and unless if you have manipulated the code, right? Then manual creation of logs and screenshot. So to discuss this, okay, if you have tested manually a whole flow, all right, and then let's suppose you have 100 test cases, then every day you will come, okay, this test case is passed, this test case is failed, then you will write a mail, then you will send it to your upper management. Every day you will do this for 100 test cases, which is like, this is not your work at all, right? You're a tester, you have to test, you don't have to create lots of documents, all right, and then again making it as pass fail manually, right? It can be again a high risk of error, like if some test cases pass, but by default you have make it as false, right? Or vice versa, if it is fail and you are making it as a pass, and then creation taking screenshot, so it will waste your time entirely. So all these things, this 6 points that I have discussed is covered by the automation that we will write. Okay, so I hope you are excited, because many of you have joined from manual testing or the automation, or some are very beginner who don't know even manual testing. And also that's why I've covered this topic, so that you can understand what is the pain points of manual testing and why we are switching it to the automation. Okay, and one more point that I will add over here is, nowadays you are seeing this AI and ML modules are added, right? Even the chat boxes and all, right? To test them with, even you can consider the Amazon product Alexa and all, right? To test all this product, all right, manual thing is not good at all. You can do a one round of manual testing, no problem in it, but the automation, right, is very much required. Here we will play with 1,000 lakhs of data we will provide. Okay, we'll automate it, and we can train our system. Okay, for that concern as well, automation is a very best choice when you are testing all this type of features. Okay, now coming to the next slide. So why automation is clear, right? Then again, why automation? If you'll see the significance of the automation, it's reliable, reusable, right? Whatever we have discussed, only these points I have covered here, like better quality of the software you will get, cost reduction. So for cost reduction, a simple calculation is there, right? If we have 7 applications, 7 we have the portals, okay, and someone is testing it, right? So for 7 portals you have hired manual tester, let's suppose 4 manual testers you have had, right? You need to pay them, right? And they will test it again. It will be a cost. They will take, let's suppose, 1 month or 2 days based on their availability and all to test everything, right? But once you have written a script by giving us some time, right, some 2 days or 3 days, you can use it again and again, and you don't require this many resource, right? So again, it's a cost reduction you will get, right? One more thing that you will get it, like whatever you have written, you can use it again and again. You don't have to worry about it. You can add some new thing, right? And you can do the regression of whatever the 100 test cases. It will only create the screenshot. It will take the screenshot. It will trigger some mails to the upper manager. It will create a report. You don't have to do anything, right? And the most important thing that I will highlight over here is the programmable. So whatever you are thinking, right, you need to communicate to the system, right? So whatever now I'm saying, whatever I want to do, let's suppose if I want to print the even numbers from 1 to 1,000, why should I write this like 2, 4, 6, 8 up to 1,000? Let I will write a small code like which will take hardly 5 minutes for me, right? And it will only write it, and it will only print all the even numbers from 1 to 1,000. So whatever you are thinking in your mind, it can be coded, right? It can be coded, and then whatever you have written is executed by your system, and then system behaves what you are thinking, what you want the output, right? In manual testing, what you will think, you will have to do it. There is no escape. You have to stay there. But in automation, once you have written the code, right? Let's suppose I have written the code for print even number still 1 crore. So I will run it, then I can wash my hands, I can go here and there, the code will run and will give me the output. There is no supervision needed, right? So programmable is a very, very important role plays in the automation. Whatever you are thinking, write a script, run a script, you will get a desired result. Okay. Now Selenium versus other tool, it's open choice, right? You can use any of the tools which is available in the market, because this training is basically we are doing on Selenium. That's why I've added this slide, right? So Selenium, as you will see, it's every time. right? For protector, if you'll see, no version is upgraded, right? Only one or twos you will see in many years it will come. But for Selenium, it's like every year, every month, whenever they need, okay, this is some compatible things coming in the market for AI, ML with Python and all, they will generate it. So Selenium, you will get every time upgrade and upgrade new technology. You can automate everything. You will get it integrated with the Selenium. Correct. If we'll consider other tools, maybe now whatever tools are coming, right, they will give you some free content for limited hour of time, right, or limited month of time, then they will charge it. Or they will give you, okay, out of 10 functionality, fives are free and rest of the five are, you will get some amount you need to pay, right? But the Selenium, it's open source, right? You don't have to pay at any time. It's free of cost, right? Customer support, if you'll go and search any defect or any problem in the Selenium, any error, any exception, you will search for the Selenium, right? You will get it. That much technical support, or the what we say community support, is present for the Selenium. Comparing to the other tools, you will not get it. But for Selenium, it's large popular one tool, and you will get a lots of support. Okay. And then coding skill, everything is abstract. They have used proper design pattern to design the Selenium, right? Every methods is there. You just, as a tester, you have to test it. You don't have to go in much deeper logic to create a function and all. It is already there in the Selenium. So you will not even get divert from your thinking. Your thing is to automate certain functionalities and all functions and everything. Like if you'll connect with the, you can just have a dependency of let's suppose you have 10,000 data in your Excel. From that you need to log into a web page, right? You have username and password in encrypted format for 10,000 users. You will take it into one Excel, into one JSON, you will read it, and you can automate that scenario. It will take your program will take one entry or one record from the Excel. Okay, take it and then put it into the UI flow where you have username and password, and then click on submit. So it will do 10,000 times. It will come, take it from Excel, paste it to the UI flow, right? And then click on the submit button. Likewise, it will do 10,000 times, and it will generate the report like for which user it is get passed or failed, right? The login is successful or not, right? So you can even do that. So everything like reading from the Excel and all, Apache POI is the library, or Apache is a component, right, which will provide this dependency to you so that you can even you can get the data from Excel or whatever you have written. Even from docs you can create PDFs and everything, right? This again you can integrate with the Selenium. Selenium is also integrated with you can integrate Selenium project with Jenkins, right, with browser stacks and all. And again, various type of frameworks, unit frameworks are there, those you can integrate with Selenium. So that is the most important reason that Selenium is very stable, right? Most of the defects are get fixed. It has a wide range of community support, right? Customer support, cost is free, it's open source, environment support available. It's even for you can use for Windows, Linux, Mac with various operating system. Every driver is available for whatever browsers you want, and it supports wide range of language as well, like Python, Java, C Sharp, PHP, Perl. You can use it. So that is the basic reason I'm going with Selenium. And Selenium is very easy to understand. Once you cover the Selenium, Cypress, Protector, it's just a simple thing. Okay, most of the things remain constant only. Okay, so these are some advantage of the Selenium that we have discussed. And we will be using here Selenium WebDriver. Okay, and the language that I will use is Java for this. Okay, now coming to the API testing. Now whatever we have talked is on the UI testing, right? Let's suppose you have some page to test, you can test it, right? Because you are seeing it, so that is called as UI, whatever you are seeing it. But there are some things which are happening in the backend. Okay, let's suppose the same example that I'm considering from slide 1. You are entering a login credential, right? Email ID and password. Then there is one button called as submit. You are clicking on that submit button. So you are giving a username and password and then clicking on the submit button. After clicking on the submit button, okay, there is something in backend will happen. It will take your username and password from the screen, check into the database, okay, whether this username is corresponding with this password or not. If it is yes, then it will redirect you to the home page, right? Else it will give you through an error, right? Please enter valid email or password. So all these things is done using the backend system. Correct. So this backend system, for to test this backend system, let's suppose if you want to test whether your API written by the developer is taking proper input, proper email ID and password from the user. It can be a case, right? You have the user has entered email ID and password and clicking on submit button, but nothing is happening. Why? Because your API, your backend system is not taking the user input and checking into the database, right? So this is one test case that you can test. Second test case, what you can do is, let's suppose you have entered proper credential, you clicked on the system, and by default, right, the developer is not checking onto the database like whether this email IDs exist with this password or not, right? And directly it is logging you to the home page. That again a break, right? This is the fail scenario. First you need to check to the database whether this entry is there or not. Correct. So these are the some test cases, and one more test cases you can have. Sometime you went to some ATMs or banks, right? Or even if you are booking a rail tickets, right? So there you will see sometime it shows 503 error or internal system error, or most commonly they will use link is fail. But we never understand in our childhood what is link fail, right? Link fail means your backend system or your server is down. So this test cases also you can test where your system is up, with what data it is behaving, right? All these things you can test using API testing, right? But as I talked more on the API testing and backend system, some of you like are afraid what is API. Right? For them, what is API is a new word for some of them, right? So I will just give you an introduction for API now. What is API? Okay.
Yes, Ketan this side. Sorry to stop in between. Actually, this webinar is more on the automation framework side, right? So it will be great if you can cover more topic on the automation framework, and if you can show the framework like how we can create, that will be great. That's something the message we are getting from the people.
Okay, okay, sure. Then I will. Okay,
That
I
will be
thought
great.
like
Thank you
maybe
so much.
some newbie have joined. Yeah, okay, sure.
No,
So
people are getting right. So we have a different webinar for the freshers, right? So today's webinar is totally focused on automation framework, right? What are the framework? How many type of framework, right? And how we can design a framework. If we have to design a framework from scratch, what are the things we need to do?
okay, okay, sure. Sure, then
Thank you so
let's
much.
focus on the demo part only then. Just a second. Yeah. Okay. So this is a very small website, simple website I have taken. Okay. Here I will fill the first name. Okay. In the contact information, and then mailing, I will give the city over here, and in or country. Okay. You can give, and then user information I will give my name. Okay, and then I will click on submit button. It's just a testing website. All the fields are not at all mandatory. You can give whatever the fields you want to give, and then you can click on the submit button. Okay, so the foremost thing, right? I will show you the framework in just 2 minutes. Bear with me for 2 minutes. I will just show you how you can locate the elements. Let's suppose if I want to locate the elements for first string, right? Either you can use XPath or CSS, right? With the IDs and everything. So you can locate this element. You can see, okay, the input tag is here, right? There is no ID over here. So what you can do, you can either go with the name, right? Input, and the name is type of first name. Either you can use this thing, right? To locate this element, right? So this is how you can locate the element. As I know, like you already know all these locators and all. So I'm not wasting much time on how you can locate the elements, right? Either you can use XPath or the CSS, right? So let me show now the framework. Okay. So for today's seminar, right, we are working on the BDD approach. This is behavior driven development approach, for which we will require Cucumber plugin to install. And why we are using this framework is because this is for user perspective, for the end user, for which the product is developed according to the user, like whatever test cases he want to automate, right? Or whatever the scenarios he can try, right? That you can automate and that you can write. Okay. For the BDD framework, we have some of the steps, okay, that I will discuss. So if we'll, this is a Maven integrated project, right? So I have a main class. In this main class, I have this packages, pages, stave definition, utility, and in resource one, I have feature file, right? So whatever the test cases that you want to automate, or whatever the scenario, what will end user will try with your portals or with your product, that you will write, right? So here I am writing a very one simple scenario given, and this is a jerkin language. This is written in jerkin language, given and when then. Okay, given means what is already present, right? Like given user is on Mercury tour test website and provide contact details, mailing information, user information, and then he will click on submit button. Very simple scenario, right? You can write negative scenario as well. Like if some fields are mandatory, you have given, let's suppose 4 fields are mandatory, but you have given 3 fields, and then you are clicking on the submit button. So it should get failed and it will give you the error. Please enter all the 4 mandatory details. So whatever you can think a user can give, right? That much scenario you can write. You can write like for contact details, he has given some YASS, some alphabetical order, something name or something, which is not at all valid, right? It should be a mobile number, right? So all these things you can then validate as per the scenario you can write. So I have taken one scenario, a very simple and positive one. Like, so this is the feature file where you will require to write the scenarios, and how many scenarios that you want, you can write it by your own choice. There is no restriction, right? Once this feature file is ready, right, then you will write the step definition, right? For each step, what you will perform, because you have written this a simple in English language, user is on Mercury tourist website, but your system will not understand English, right? The system will understand only the coding languages, right? So what will happen now? This user is on Mercury tour test website. So for this step, right, I have integrated with step definition folder. I have written the step definition registration steps, and in this steps class I have written all the this whatever English sentences I have used, I have integrated them with the code. So like this one, user is on Mercury tourist website. So what I will do, so just don't worry about this code. When we will discuss utils and pages class, that we will discuss this code. Okay, so what I will do, I will just write a small thing how to open a website, right? Driver.get, and I will give this URL to it. Okay, so this is the step definition package in which you will write the steps, and this steps is nothing but you will integrate your feature files that you have written in English language to integrate that with your code. So which function will get called after this line and all that you will integrate over here, and everything like you're writing like here, if I want to provide the contact details, so provide contact details. So all these functions, so here I will just call the function, but the core logic, right? What will happen if you'll come on this line, provide contact details, what will happen? So this will reside in this pages section. So this is a our page section. This is a page class, this page package. In this you will write a class called as, I have written, this is for registration form, so I have given a name registration page, in which you will provide the locators, okay, and the functions what you want to provide. Like let's suppose if I want to provide contact details, so what I will do, first name dot send keys, I have given here the name Nandish, right? So for every function I will write, like for provide mailing details, only send keys, and I have given this Kolkata. Provide user details, I have given the email ID, and then click on submit button, then it will click on the submit button. So a very simple one, all right, we have written. And this is the locators that you will write over here for the web page. For the first name I have showed you, right, that the same way you can use for the address, right, for the email ID, for the submit button. Okay, and then this is following the page object model. All right, so what you can do, wherever you are writing the locators, right, or for the one page, because this is only a single page, right, for the form page. So I'm writing every details for this form in this class only. If let's suppose if I have the home page as well, so I will create another page called as home page, and whatever the locators and functions, whatever the things I want to use from the or want to test for the home page class, so I will create a respective home page class again, and I will write the locators and function to that respective class. So this is only related with this uh, form page only. So that's why I have written one class. Okay. And one more thing, as this is a very simple class, if whenever you will work with some industry or with the project, there we have lots of classes and lots of portals, right? So for that, you can see in even one file can have 50 locators, right? Or 50 plus locators. So this is not advisable that you will write locators and function in same class. If it is a very small project like here we are dealing with, so you can write it, there is no issue. But let's suppose if you have 50 plus locators, if you have to write, and for 50 plus locators you have small unit methods as well. So let's suppose 50 again methods for 50 plus locators corresponding to it. So it is not advisable that this many codes you will write. So for that you can have a locator class, you can create your own locators class, right? And based on that locator you can use the locators, you can define the locators, right? And whatever the locators, right? For some users, in some organization it restricted that you will use only css because it's fast with respect to the engines and browsers, right? So what they will do, they will only customized, right? They will create their customized class of the locators. There it will only include css locators. If you'll write the xpath, it will give you the error there itself, right? So you can make this type of things, customizable things as well. And this you can put in the testing automation framework, which is called as TEF, right? So this is very simple. I guess this registration page, registration steps and feature is clear to all of you, is it? Let me just see a chat once. Okay, the questions I will answer later. Okay, but this is fine, right? Okay, so here we have only discussed the packages, right? Where to put feature files, we'll put in resources one, and in pages and all in src main Java, we'll put the registration page and registration steps, right? And one more scenario I will give, right? When you are working with industry, right? There could be a case you have some 10 plus classes, then you will create 10 plus objects for the classes, right? There you will use a certain that I'm not taking over here, else it will go a long session, 4 hours plus maybe. So what you can do, you can even search for singleton and browser factory as a design pattern. This two factory pattern, browser factory, and a design pattern named as singleton pattern, that you can use, right, to create the object of a classes, to initialize the, or to create the instance of the driver, right? And if you are using parallel testing and all, then you can go with the thread local, right? And then you can make a your framework more customizable and more advanced. And as of now I am considering very simple one. So we have one page class, okay? We have one steps which will correlate whatever the functions you will write, right? Let's suppose I have right here, I have only here created the object of a this registration page class, and through the object I am calling the function, which is written where, this function is written in the pages classes, to make every classes segregated. And there is should be all the functions that I'm writing, it should be modularized, right? So that even in next portal, if I want to use it, I will just use the same function and again, right? So these are the pages steps and the features, right? Then we have a test runner class. Okay, inside this test runner class, right, how to run my code, right? Just a very simple thing, as we are dealing with the Cucumber for writing a BDD thing. In the first line I have stated, like, you need to install the Cucumber plugin, you will install it, then you need to give a simple annotations, which is for the Cucumber. In Cucumber plugin you will add @Cucumber options, monochrome true, then you will give your path over here, right, where your feature files reside. So my feature file reside in this feature package, right? It is there. So feature registration dot feature, right? So I will give the path of this feature file users, right? My path over here in this features keyword, and then I will write as you have created the test runner class, so it's a class, and here the data provider, if you want to provide it parallelly, you can give it as true. Then we will just, it will just, if you'll implement the extend this class, so it will override this method, right? As this is an abstract class, so a Java funda, right? You need to override the whatever the abstracted method to this class. So we have just written it, right? And we have created a test runner class, and you can run it through a local system, right? Or do you want to run it from system, right? From git, if you have committed this task, if you have put this task, right, or the code to the git, and you, if you want your Jenkins CI/CD should run this, right? And if you don't want to store anything, right, as a pain point of the manual testing, I told you, right, if you want, have to take the evidences, screenshots, error, right, everything, this can be done, right? Video and everything, This can, and if you want to run this, right, as this is my, just one thing I want to tell you here, as this is my Mac system, I can run either on Chrome or Safari, but this will be automable on the Mac only, right? Let's suppose if you are in Amazon and if you want to test this side on various different system on Mac operating system, Linux, right, with different browsers, even with the mobiles, right? So it's not, it's Amazon is big company, he can that company can afford this many systems and all, but for small startups, right, so this is very impractical if they will buy all this mobile phones, all this types of gadgets, browsers and everything. If they will have, it will cost a lot, and even the tester have to switch to again and different browsers and all mobiles to test it, right? So here you can integrate your code with the browser stack, right? Here in browser stack, it's you can consider it as a cloud system where you can store video evidences, you can run your file on different operating system, different versions of browser, different browser itself, and even if you want to run on incognito, different choices, right, you can give it there. All right, so this I will just show you a code, okay, to integrate the browser factory. So you have to give your username key, right? This you, whenever you will log in with the browser factory, you will get your access key and all, okay? Then you will write a very simple code, like I have given here some desired capabilities, right? I should run on Chrome, browser version is this, operating system I have given is Windows, okay? Operating system version I have given operating system Windows 10, right? And then thread, these are just a cacheable property, cache hash table properties that I am adding into a hash table, right? So which thread will run this, right? Let's suppose if I want to run in the let's suppose in mobile phones, right, or maybe in Linux system, then thread 2 will work on the mobile, thread 3 will work on the Linux system, that you can give the property over here. And once you have just added your access key and username and all, it will get integrated with your browser stack. So I will just show you this, right? So you can see, so right from here you can go to your users, right? You can get here integration, user management, you can create your access key, everything you will get it right from here. And then what I will do after, so this is a browser stack just to show you, okay? After pushing this code to my gate, or if you want to run it from local, right, what you have to do, you go to the Jenkins, right? Set up a Jenkins, you can download it, right? Let me just log in it to the Jenkins. So I've set up my Jenkins on local, right? You can set up on your companies wherever they have server they have conducted, you can set up over there as well, right? Now I will just go, right? If you have set up this Jenkins, if you already know it, right, what you have to do, just go to the manage Jenkins option, right? There you will get the option manage plugins, right? As our project belong to Maven, what you will do, you will go to available one, right? Search for Maven plugin, right? I have already installed it, so it will not show in the available list. I will show you in the installed one, right? Search for Maven. So install this plugin, config file Maven and the Maven integration plugin. This two plugin you have to install, right? After that, installing, right, again go to the manage Jenkins file, right? If you want to run your code locally or from the git, right, you need to give the JDK path. So I have installed my JDK in this path, so I have given this path to the JDK, like library Java, right? Virtual machine in the JDK. This is my JDK path. Then I will give my Git path as well if I want to run from my Git. If you want to run from your local, from your machine only, you can give the pom.xml, right? Or if you are working with testng or JUnit as a unit framework, you can give that path as well. If you want to run from testng.xml, you can give that path over here. Or using pom.xml, you can also run your file. So I'm running it from Git. So I have just given my Git command over here, and you need to give the git credential as well, right? And after that, as this is a Maven project, so I have already installed Maven. I have given that Maven installation path as well here, and then you can apply it and save it. So this only two things that you have to do, the first thing is you will install the required plugins, right, for Maven. And whenever you will download this Jenkins, it will install priorly only some required plugins for you. And then you need to give the path for your Java JDK, as this is belong to Java project. Then your Git path if you want to run it from the Git. Third one is, as this is a Maven project, so you need to give the Maven path as well, right? Once this manage Jenkins is done, right, then you will go to new item, create your job. You can enter any item name, right? Then click on this freestyle project, right? Then the job will get created. Once the job is get created, right, if you can see, I will just go to this job and I will configure it, right? I'll click on the configure, right? So here you can give it, right, source code management system. If you want to use Git, you can choose the option of Git over here, right? If you want to build environment, like I am using the browser stack, so whenever I will run it from here, it will store all the result evidences, everything into the browser stack. So here also you will pass your key and the username of browser stack whenever you will register to this site, right? And the build, right, I want to run it from pom.xml, so I've given that path. So these things you will do. And there are lots of things, right? If I want my job, right, if I have written it like for 100 test cases, I have automated and I've put it integrated with Jenkins, right? And every day I want this 100 test case to run onto my system so that I will get the confidence, yeah, everything is working fine, right? So you can, if, as I told you, right, for automation, if once you have written a script, there is no supervision needed. You don't have to sit all the times the script is running in front of the system, right? What you can do, you have just started the script. If it is taking 30 minutes, 10 minutes, right, 1 hour, 2 hour, you don't have to sit. It will run it automatically. It will send you all the details and all, right? So again, if you have to do this in your office hours, you can set, you can give whatever time you want to run your script, at 3 in every morning, right? Or maybe 10 at night, right? Or maybe midnight time or early morning, right? You, there is an option called as build trigger. Here you can give there are lots of functionality, right? Build periodically if you want to run the script periodically. Even you don't have to click on the run button. It will only do it, right? If you'll set up a proper time, right? Run every day or once in a month if you want to run the job, that you can give all this functionality in this build trigger part, right? So here I'm going to this one dashboard. So I told you how to create, how to configure these jobs, right? When this is ready, just click on this. Okay, this job that you have created, test registration. Then you can click on build now button. Right. So after clicking on build now, you can see the job is get started. It is running, right? So it will take some time. So let's just wait for that. So once this is get run, right? So here on, as we have integrated with the browser stack, right? So it will go to the browser stack, right? It will add the evidences and I have run it for, as you can see, mine machine is Mac. So I have run it for Windows operating system. Okay, on the Chrome browser, right? I have given the as well operating system 10 if I want to run it. So I have given that capability as well, right? So it will run it there and in browser stack only, right? In browser stack only, it will save the video, right? And it will give you that I will share later once this is get run, right? So it's done, right? You can go to this job as well. You can see the console output if you have integrated with some logs, right? What happened when, what dependency it has added, what plugins it has added, right? Then what you have done. So all the scenario details you can find in this Jenkins console output logs, right? And then if I will go to browser stack, so you can see a thread one a few seconds ago, right? We have executed this. So I will go here, right? Let me play this video once. Okay, so what happened? So it has opened this Mercury Tours website, right? Then it has entered first name, address, and username, right? And then click on the submit button. A very simple thing that we have automated, right? So even you can see you don't have to create the evidences, video recordings, and all, right? It is saved only on the browser stack only, right? It is created by browser stack. And once you have created all these things with API automation, right, or UI automation, you can see network logs, other logs if I've integrated, right? This you can see download via REST APIs and all what have detected, issues something detected, right? And text log, you can see in which second what happened, right? This is the element, this is the find path, this is the expert that I have added for this, right? And all the input capabilities like for which you have tested on, right? So this all details you can take it, right? You can even automate this on mobile phones, right? On Mozilla, Firefox, everything you can do it. So this is the automation framework that we have created over here using BDD approach, right? So one thing I have to share with you, right? This is a BDD approach using that, and Cucumber I have created it. You can even go with the TestNG approach, and that you can use it for TDD approach, right? Which is the testing data, which is test data driven framework approach. But majorly now in many companies we are not using TDD, right? The reason is the developers are using this for unit testing and all this TDD approach. We can use the functionalities and the what we say, we have data provider, right? And some very good annotations in the test ng that we can use it as a unit framework, right? But majorly we are going with the BDD because here you will consolidate a user experience as a one scenario, and you can test scenario by scenario. And even the scenario, many of time if you are included in agile meetings, demo meeting and all this is being shared by the product owner in given when then format, right? What is the business use case, you can directly copy it from there, paste it to the your feature file. You don't have to even write it. You can write some negative test cases, but majorly test cases is written by, you can get it from the product owner docs, right? So there also you can save your time. So I hope like you have enjoyed the session, right? So do you have any question on this framework?
So guys, I'm going to unmute yourself. You can unmute yourself and ask the question or any query you have.
Okay,
Please.
explain form framework. Okay, let me share it. Okay, so in pom.xml, right? As I told, like this is a Maven integrated project, right? So if I want to use TestNG, right, or if I want to use Cucumber, right, or Selenium even, right, or for WebDriver Manager, right? So all this, like I don't have to install their packages and everything. Just I have to go to Maven site. I will add Maven dependency for Selenium. So I will get it from there. I will show you, and then you can add it the dependency over here. So whatever methods, right, functionality, everything library defined in the Selenium, you can use it directly. Let me just show you. So all this dependency, like I have it, you can just go here, right? You can write here Maven dependency for Selenium, and go here. Right, whatever the stable version, right, which is most uses, right, that you can get, or the updated one, stable one, you can take the dependency, copy it from here and paste it to your pom.xml, right? So pom.xml, right, once you have given the dependency and all, right, then it will get downloaded as a jar from your id only, right? And then you can use wherever the library is, right, inbuilt methods if you want to use it.
Hi, hello. I'm
Yes,
audible.
yeah, you're
Yeah,
audible.
yeah. Basically, sorry to interrupt, but I
Yes,
was asking for that project object module,
yeah, yeah.
that framework. Not
Okay,
project
okay,
object
okay.
model framework.
Okay,
Yeah.
okay. Got it. Yeah. So the POM object, if you want to discuss that, right? The POM, it's a design pattern, right? To implement whatever, if you are automating some websites or all, right? So page object model, it's a very simple design pattern. So what it states, it's an approach, right? It's not necessary that you should follow it, right? If it's a very small project, you don't have to, right? But if it's has a very large project on which you are working on, where you have various portals, right, various test data, then where what you can test it, right? So page object model, so for every page you will create a class, right? For login page you will create a login class, for home page you will create a home page class, right? For order page you will create a order class. So it's a, and in login page you have only like locators for email id, right, for password, for your submit button. For home page you will have some some title that you want to assert, right? The locators related with homepage. For order details, you will have some order details related locators you can write and the functions you can write, right? So page object model it for every page, right? Whatever its functionality you want to, whatever the functions you have to write, whatever the locators you want to find, right? That you will write in respective and segregated form for each page, and with each page you will have its respected functions and all. So now this is the one advantage for it, right? So every time, if let's suppose your home pages get broken, right? If you're testing something and yeah, in home page some button is not displaying or whatever scenario you have written is get filled, so you know, okay. Or if your element is not visible, right, for home page, right, in home page hello Sanjay is written, right? And you are asserting, okay, if you're logged in with Sanjay, yeah, hello Sanjay is not there, right? So maybe there is something wrong is happening, or even the hello Sanjay is not displaying, or even the locators you have find out, right? Whatever you have found is maybe wrong. So then you will get it, okay, in home page class you have this error. So you can segregate your errors as well. Okay, this is the error for login page, right? Because if you have segregated in one scenario, right, login page, home page, order, you have written in one class, right, and only one scenario, then your scenario get filled. Then how can you say whether login page is filled, login functionality, if it is working fine, only your homework, this home page app is failed, right? So for that segregation part, right, for simplicity to understand where the error occurs, right, and to even if you'll write all the locators in one class only, right, it is again not advisable, right, using the design principle, right? It should be segregated. So that way around it will help you, right? Another advantage is, right, let's suppose I have login page, so I will create its class, login class, home page class, and the order class, right? So for this, I have three objects. So again, the objects work is different, right? Whenever I want to call a method for login class, so my object for login page only will call the method of login class. So no other object. And whenever you are doing parallel testing, right? Whenever lots of multi-threaded, like threadeds are working on it, so there will be no confusion, right? And then you can integrate this with this POM, right? With the singleton class or singleton design pattern, right? So whenever, let's suppose one thread come, right, it has initiated, it has created one instantiated one object of login class, right? And it is login it, right? From Sanjay I have login, one Mahendra Singh Dhoni has login, second Sachin Tendulkar has login, right? From three threads, right? So if let's suppose Mahendra Singh Dhoni has logged in, it will show hello Mahi. For Sachin it will show hello Sachin, right? So thread then have to respect, right, each and every copy. For that as well, you can use page object model. So one, this is for this page, this is for this thread. Then you can use thread local and so on. I am using very advanced term, so maybe it will get you confused, right? So but anyway, I hope like you have got the answer why we are using it, right? And you can again integrate, right? Once the object is created for this class, if it is already present, then don't create it, right? Then you can integrate with singleton or a design pattern and all, right? But majorly the segregation errors, and with each page it should be there. That is the base objective will get cleared from the page object model.
Hello. Hi.
Thanks.
Hi.
Yeah.
I would like to ask one thing. Is it possible that we can book a one-on-one session with you? I would like 1 hour so I can clear more doubts that I have.
So it is totally depends on the dev labs, right? So maybe the dev labs concerned person can answer this.
Anybody,
Hello. Please
anybody from
contact
there,
me. This is
Labs?
definitely we can arrange a session with you.
I didn't get anything, but okay. It'll be great if you can talk more about the multi-threading in the next. Probably that would help us a lot.
Yeah, sure,
And
sure. So based on the requirements, like, so it is like dev labs will conduct this and they will give us the details. So based on that, yeah, we can have that. So, but for answer, like if there will be a session or one-to-one, dev labs community can help us over here.
Hello. Please drop a
Hi, please.
message where
Can
to
I?
reach out to the dev labs, an email or something.
I guess you can in participants we have this. Yeah, you can
I'll ask
ask
that.
for Ketan,
Okay.
Mamta, or wherever you have got the notification to join this session. You can ask them.
Sure.
Hello, can you hear me?
Yeah,
Hi,
yeah, it's audible.
will you hear me?
Hello, can you hear me?
Mhm. Yeah, yeah, it's audible.
Yes, I want to ask that how can we implement the listeners with the cucumber framework, or
So for
how can we implement the test ng over the cucumber?
right. For test ng, see if you want to add or if you want to use the test ng things, right? So again, a very simple thing. You just go to Maven, right? Add here or search for the test-ng dependency, copy that dependency and put it in the pom.xml. Once you have put it, right, there are multiple annotations, right? Before method, right? Before suit, after method. Then we have, like, as I told you when I was delivering this PPT, right? If you have a test data for 10 email ID and password, if you want to use it, either you can take it from Excel, but Excel has a lots of disadvantages, right? If you'll go with Excel, it is taking lots of time to query in the Excel. Second thing, whenever you are pushing it to the Git, right, the Git can create a conflict and merge conflict, whatever you have differences with the master branch or another branches that you are using any strategy. It can deliver on the conflicts of the codes, right? But it cannot detect any changes happen in the Excel. So if someone, let's suppose if some tester one came and changed the Excel, now one record is get deleted. So on Git, you will not get it. Okay, on master branch, it is 10. Now you have pushed 9 records in a Excel, right? And then you have then master branch get your PR get merged, right? Your branch gets merged, and now there is 9 records. So there is 1 record missing. This even no one can find it. So there, like, you can get the advantages from TestNG, where you can have proper data provider class through which from the 2-dimensional array, the data provider class have the return type, right? From that you can take the data, right? And you then there, if there is something changed, then Git can directly catch it. Yeah, you have changed this data and all, right? And you can create even random data by using its methods and all. So that functionality you can take it, but your question is how to integrate it. So directly you can take from Maven dependency, testng, what we say dependency, add it in the pom.xml, and there are, even if you'll say on testng, it is a 2 hour or 4 hour lecture that we can have for testng. It's a huge framework, and there are lots of things that we can use it. Like for testng.xml, you can run your script parallelly, right? It will give parameterized things. Lots of things are there. Yeah.
Can you take a section on it over the test engine over the Cucumber? Are you
Right, as I
planning or
told,
are you thinking about any session? So
see,
please
I am
ping me if you are. No,
right,
I am
right,
requesting to DevLabs if
yeah,
we are planning. So taking that kind of the session, please ping me. I'll just put my message on the text box.
yeah, okay,
Please, sir. Please, if you are taking, I am just eagerly looking into it. Please.
sure, sure.
Hi,
Yes,
Yash.
I have one
Hi, I have a
question.
question on
So yes,
the
what is the
POM
steps
XML.
to integrate with browser stack?
One by one, like we have yeah,
So
one by
yes,
one we can go.
yes. So actually, I wanted to know, like, what are the steps to integrate with browser stack for parallel execution, like how threads, like if we want to execute parallelly in Mac machine or Windows
Mhm.
machine. So can you show the code that like that is really very good
Yeah,
thing.
sure, sure, absolutely, yeah, yeah. So you just have to log in to the browser stack, right? Once you
Mm-hmm.
have logged into the browser stack, right, you will get your key and password, right? Either from your mail or uh, using your settings, right? I've showed
Is
you
it free,
this.
like, or license to,
Yeah, yeah,
like?
it's see. It's like 100 test cases you can run. It's free, right?
Okay,
And
okay.
after that, it will charge you something, right? So, but whenever like you're working with any company, they have this integration. Like they are
Mm-hmm.
already paying to the browser stack and all. They have all this integration. You just need to ask them for access key and all. That just you need to paste it, and it will 4 or 6 line of code that they will share with you, and then you can copy and paste. And you can get that code if you're trying just for learning, right? You can just log in it. Once you are login, you will get the code. Just paste it to the chat. I
Yes,
will just
can
show
you
you.
just go again to the framework and just show what you have written for integrating with
Yeah,
browser
yeah,
stack?
Yeah,
yeah.
yeah,
It is
just I'm
there.
showing that only.
That
Yeah,
would
yeah.
be great.
Sure, sure, sure. Right. So these are the things that you will get: username, automate key, and this URL, right? So I'm just, yeah. So now this one, right? Execute test. So this is something Java, but if you're good with Java, you can get it this in 1 minute only, right? So just let me make it easy to understand you, right? So whatever the key that, right? So string key that I have created, right? And focus from here, right? Focus from line number 25 till line number 31. Okay. So as you know, if you will see the hierarchy of this drivers, right? The top hierarchy, if you'll see, I will just talk about this one. We have search context class as well, but I will talk about this remote web driver, right? In this remote web driver, you can this remotely it will generate we can integrate the drivers with Chrome, or with, if we are using running it on the Mozilla, you can have Gecko driver, right? IE driver, like all this driver. So all this, it gets settled by this remote web driver. This is the parent class one. Okay. So if you will use this one, now we'll talk on this, how to integrate this, right? So once you have created this keys and everything, right, ready with you, right, then you will give one desired capability. So this is again a class, right? It is package of the Selenium only, like on which functionalities you want your test cases to get automated, right?
We
So
can't see the screen.
hello,
Yeah, same here.
you can't screen. Let me share it again once.
We see Teams. We can't see the screen that you've been trying to explain for the last 5 minutes.
Okay, let me share it again.
Yeah.
Is it visible?
Not yet. Yeah,
Not
now
yet.
it started.
Yeah, it started now, right?
Yeah. Thank you.
Okay. Yeah,
Right there. Right there.
Yeah.
So we missed that entire thing where you're describing about browser stack integration.
Yeah. So yeah, see. So it's visible, right? For everyone.
Yes.
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 Yeah.
Okay. Yeah. So this things you will get this username details and key and URL as I was showing, right? You will get it from the account settings, or whenever you are signing it up, you will get a mail and everything. And you will go with your click on your profile picture. There in the settings, you will get all these three details. You just have to copy and paste it here. Like you will create one string, right? If you want to make it static, it's all up to your choice, right? Based on your Java knowledge. So you can create it, right? String, and you will give all this value, right? Once this is get created, right, then I have to add the functionalities, right, based on this functionalities, right, what I have to test, like whether I need to test on which browser, right, on which operating system version, right, and whether it is Windows operating or Mac mobile, right, everything that you will get it. So for that we have created, this is Selenium thing only, desired capabilities, right? This is a Selenium integrated class that it's inbuilt functionality in the Selenium, right? You can even as I'm overing it, you can see this is Selenium package, right? It is provided by the Selenium, not so related with the browser stack. So then what I will do, I will create the object of this class called as caps, right? Desired capabilities caps is equal to new desired capabilities, and this will hold all these details, right? And after that, as I am storing, right, in key and value fashion, right? This is a key, browser value is Chrome, browser version is a key, the value is 96.0, right? Operating system OS is a key, on which operating system I am working, Windows is a browser. OS version, this is again a key, and the value is 10, right? So you, as I'm storing all this value in key and value fashion, right? So for that, I am using the hash table, right? For this, I'm using a hash table, right? So that's why I have just created one set, because this should be unique, and this will store a data type of string. And then I will start iterating over this string set, right? That I've created a set. I will start iterating on it one by one, right? And in this one by one, what I will give, whatever I have given the key, the string key, and caps dot set capability, right? The set capability key comma this caps hash table dot get key. So I guess these two lines are difficult to understand. So let me explain it, right? So this caps hash table, right? This line, this caps hash table, this includes all these things, whatever you have given this key and value, right? This object caps hash table include all this, whatever you have given, all these details, right? This object have all these details, right? So whenever I am calling this return web driver, so you will give all this detail, and it will then call this method return execute test one. So if I'll go this method, it is calling this method, right? Execute test one. So I will start from here, right? Line number from 42, 43, 44, all details I have added to cache hash table object, right? And then after doing this, I am creating a just a object called as browser factory R1, right? And then after using this browser factory, right? Because I need a object of this class to call or to use this function which is written in this class, right? Execute test one. So then I am calling this execute test one, which has all the details inside this caps hash table, right? This is this caps hash table, right? And then I am iterating over it with all these keys, right? Keys will be browser version, OS version, build name, right? And I am taking its value, setting it to which variable, which object, desired capabilities object. Once all these things, whatever values present in caps hash table, I have copied it to desired cap, capabilities, right? Then what I'm doing, I'm just passing this desired capabilities. Again, I'm repeating this desired capabilities containing cache caps hash table. And what this caps hash table containing? It containing all the values or on the system configuration on which we want to run our test cases, right? One by one, it will iterate, it will store all these things into desired capabilities, and then this 34 line will get executed, where this is the integration part, right? The driver equals to new remote web driver, in which you will pass your URL, and URL is the integration of your username and your automation key, which will have your password automation key, right? Through which you will access your own account, right? And the username, this will get appended to this URL. You will pass this URL so that it will get integrated with your browser stack, your account, and what on which functionalities you want to automate, you will pass that functionality to this capabilities that we have added in desired capabilities that you will pass. So it will go to your account, right, using this all details credential, and it will execute based on whatever your configuration that you have set in this desired capabilities. The object is caps. So I hope it is clear.
Yeah. So
So one thing
yes,
like
are you?
Mhm.
Yeah, go
so
ahead.
so key set contains everything like key value pair has like caps has table dot key set. You
Mhm.
like you created a set
Right.
list like set, and you are putting cache has table dot key set, so it will contains key value pair, na?
Right.
Or no?
Yeah,
Okay.
yeah. So this
So
is, that's why I'm yeah, go
so
ahead.
you have set here like browser is Chrome. So if we want to run on different browser
Yeah, you
parallelly,
can give any value.
so one time one browser will be launched, na? In that case, like
No,
if
no,
we
no, no,
want to
no.
run
If you
to
want to run, yeah, yeah. Sorry to interrupt. If you want to run on different threads, right? Then you have to create right here. Like I'm using this thread one. Then you need to use the concept of multi-threading, right? And then you can integrate with Mozilla Firefox if you want to run it on parallelly on or different version on the Chrome. That you can run it parallelly as well.
oh, so we
So it
need
is
to
possible using multi-threading concept.
okay, yeah.
Can I ask a quick question?
Yeah, sure. Go ahead.
Okay, this is a sidebar. I wanted to know if you're going to do another session using Cucumber and JavaScript language. I'm not too familiar with, I mean, JavaScript. I'm not too familiar with Java.
Yeah, for that, like what I will advise you, first you have to learn Java, then you can easily connect with the Selenium and all this method or JavaScript. So first decide which method you have to learn or based on your priority or work, right? Because if you'll go to
Yeah,
learn
the job
JavaScript
that
and
I'm
Java,
going to get is going to
so it
use
will conflict.
JavaScript, not Java.
Okay, okay. So directly you can move to JavaScript. Directly you can learn JavaScript. You don't have to worry on Java then. And then
No.
you
My
can
question is, are you going to do another session? Like, are you able to do another
okay.
meeting where you're using Cucumber and JavaScript is my question.
Yeah, we can have a session that will I again I can tell you like this will be conducted by DevLabs. So if they want to, they I have we can have it
Okay, how
Yes,
would I
there
get
is a
that
plan.
information, or who can I ask for that information or
from
email?
wherever like this mail you are getting, right, to join the session, or we have
Okay.
this in Teams. You can see, right, the names. They will discuss it.
You can follow, yes, you can follow our LinkedIn page. We will share all the details over there for the next session.
Okay, thank you.
You can do that,
Yeah.
right?
Yes.
Mhm.
So I'm continuing with my question. So here, my question is like, are you passing this instance of this browser factory class to page classes and step definition?
Yeah, just a second. Yeah. Yeah. So your question is whether I'm passing this browser factory in this step
Because we
definition or
have
not.
initialized driver here, so we needed to
Right.
pass those instance to.
Correct. Correct.
So are you,
Absolutely right.
yeah.
Yeah. Yeah.
So
Yeah,
have
sure.
you like
Right. Right.
created?
Because
Okay.
yeah.
Have you
Just
like imported that class over here?
yeah. Yeah. Yeah.
Uh,
Yeah.
where
Let me
is
answer
it?
this. Okay. I got your
I
question.
can't. Yeah, I can't see the import.
Yeah. Yeah. I will show you. Right. So you are saying like I have written this code. Now there is something that I have to call this, right?
Yeah.
So where I have written that? This is your question, right?
Yeah.
Yeah. So you can just simply navigate to registration steps. Here I have written this browser factory dot return driver. So if we'll move here, return driver, I'm calling this method, and inside this it is calling execute test one that we have discussed.
Okay. So my next question is about the Jenkins part. So you have done the integration of Git repository. Then how you are running it? Have you given the path of test tunnel file or the like pom file? I wanted
Yeah, I have
to.
given the path of pom.xml.
Okay. Okay. So it will be running the test tunnel file.
Right, right. And if you want to run it from Git, you can give the Git path over here of your pom.xml. It will take it from there and can run it.
What you have given? You have given pom
I have
XML.
given my pom.xml one. I will
Can
show
you
you.
go to
Mhm,
that configuration?
mhm.
So yes, one thing like what is the use of your test runner? This is only for integrating with Cucumber, or we cannot run from here. When I work with like Cucumber, so I have an option to run from the step definition also one by one, like a step definition file we
Right.
can also run. So can we not run from a step def? Like I know like for running the whole suite, we can run from like pom.xml. But my question is like test runner is something new seeing here. Like
Okay.
so what is the use of that?
Right,
Like,
right. So let's suppose there are some things, right?
Shni, can you please
Okay.
pause for a
Yeah.
second?
Sorry.
I
Sorry. So I
am
forget
in
even. Yeah.
between
Yeah.
my question. Yeah.
Okay.
So
Okay.
Yash, please,
Okay.
can you please go to this Jenkins
Yeah.
configuration?
So it's visible, right?
Yeah.
Okay. So what you can do, I will just make you to this test registration. Here you can see configure option, right? So as you can see, I'm running it from my local only. So I have chosen the option as none. If you want to run it from Git, you can give the path over here. And then this is the my pom path, pom.xml path.
Okay. So it is
Right.
running for com. Okay.
Yeah.
Fine. Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah. Thank you, Yash. Thank you so
Oh,
much for
no
answering
issues.
all
Hey,
for
no issues.
all
Yeah.
of my
No, the
questions.
next question that you have asked, right? Someone has asked, what is the concept of the stress runner and all, right? So in if you are running, if you have some smoke test cases, right? Because and some regression test cases, right? In Cucumber, it's a very simple framework that we have designed it because there's a first session only, right? We can have right some of the test cases which belongs to regression, some of the sanity test cases, some of the smoke test cases, right? Then how we can distinguish like okay, this scenario is for smoke, this for regression, right? Or this for sanity. So there are some tags that you can use,
mhm.
right? So you can use some tags at the rate this is the tags for this. And if you want to run only for smoke, what you can do, you can go in test runner, use some tags, okay, that this, run only the scenarios which included this tags smoke test smoke tag. So it will run only the scenario which have the smoke tags on it. So you can even search, it is a very good concept to learn all this on the test runner. You can even use test runner for creating the reports, right? There are multiple things that you can search and you can integrate with the test runner if you want to debug it, right? Debugging also, you can create your test runner, you can give proper path. Lots of things are there that is being integrated with the reports and everything that you can use based on your annotations and all. And there is one more class that I have showed you, right? Just a second. Test runner. So this is a class, right? Abstract test, test ng cucumber running test. So this I have extended. So you can go and learn more whatever the function present over here, and you can use it in this if you need it in test runner, or you can Google it out more about the test runner. There are lots of things that you can do in this test runner class, even for debugging, even for running a special feature only, right? Or even if you want to run with respect to tags, that also you can do.
So here like I'm seeing like you are using a Cucumber as well as pay like data provider.
Mhm.
So who like which one will work? Like we are calling like we integrate with Excel and we are using a data provider also, and we are using some examples in Cucumber.
Right.
So both are data driven type of things. So why we are using both in one place? I think
So mhm.
one will work at one time.
See, see. So whether you are reading a data, right? I have told you the advantage of the Excels and all, right? So whether
Mm.
you are using reading a data from Excel or whether you are reading a data from data provider, so it's this decision is based on you will take it that this decision is based on the data that you have. It's a lots of data, let's suppose, right? Then you have a choice. Either you can go with the JSON, right? And if this data, if you are using, you can use any data, right? Nowadays, it's guided, right? Don't use data provider, even don't use yeah, you can use data provider. I'm not saying no, but it's expected. Like if you have a good knowledge, if you are working from a long time, you can even use a random creation data, in which you have like in Java classes and all, we have random methods, right? You can create on data dynamically and you can use that data. So it will save a lots of time. Even it will create conflicts if someone has changed the code and all, right? And this is the only there you don't have to what we say, save the data. You can even delete the data after the execution of files, right? This you can do it. But coming to the question, to give you crystal clear answer, so it's not at all case like if you are reading it from Excel, so you can't use testng things data provider and all. So based on your data, if data is long, if it is already present, right, in your Excel, if whenever you are switching to some banks organization, or they mostly have their data on the Excel, right? They have even their suite created, like the data will updated in Excel, and from there you will read it and hit some APIs and all, right? So if let's suppose you have, if you have 1,000 plus data or 100 plus data, so it will not make sense that you will create a data provider, copy paste the same thing, redo the work. You can do it. And even there are filos and some SQL queries using which you can use. These are some advanced topic that you can take and have the optimization to retrieving the things from the Excel. But it is not a case like if you are using Excel, then don't use data provider. It's totally based on your understanding of the data and all that you are using.
Okay. So what is the use of parallel equal to like parallel? Like, can you show me the code?
Yeah.
The test runner file.
So if you can make it false, it will not make any sense, right? So it is just for I was like using this framework for another seminar as well, for teaching them and all, because if we'll go dig each and every detail, so it will take lots of time. There are lots of for like at the rate find by and
So
all this
if
thing.
it will be false, then data provider will be not called, but like BDD
See,
will work.
no. One thing that I want to tell you, this data provider, right? This is
Mhm.
not related with the testng data provider. Like if I have not given here data provider here, and if I don't write it, so it will not make any differences to me. This is only I have written over here once I was using testng and I have some given some test data, right? So for that
Okay.
only I have used it. So it will not make any sense for this execution or for any different execution. It's not at all necessary, like if we'll write it or not. So that's I think to answer you. But if you want to research it, we can have a definitely we can connect, or whenever we have some test ng seminar, then I will go each and every detail of what is this cucumber options, why we are using it, what is the meaning of monochrome features and everything override, what is this abstract test ng. But this is not a now right platform to cover all these details.
Okay, got it. Yeah.
Yeah.
Got it.
Yes, I have one thing to ask.
Mm.
For the automation freshers who don't have any knowledge about any coding or anything, what are the steps? So can you please guide us on that? Like what need to be learned to run any script from
Mhm.
first to last?
Okay. So first thing, the mandatory thing is you should know the language, which is Java, right? Once Java is
Yes.
completed, then you can focus on Selenium. If you are
Hmm.
doing the testing of API, then you should focus on Postman and REST assured, right? And if
Okay.
all these things is done, then you can learn various frameworks, right? There are parallel based on parallel testing, right? And then you can learn some clouds, AWS and all. Then you can integrate your framework there with Jenkins, CI/CD things you can learn. And then there are lots of design patterns, right? Like as I told you, this is a very one good thing that is now we have, like you can generate your data on that dynamically time and you can use it. So there are lots of design principle then you can introduce step by step to your framework to make it generalized. So this step that I can advise you.
Okay. And can you guide for the frameworks which is better to for the startup, like who don't have that much programming knowledge, and which framework will be good to learn
You
easily?
can, yeah, you can go first try to learn TDD framework, right there, because there in the TDD you will explore test engine in much more details. Then you can navigate to this BDD one.
Okay. Okay. Thank you.
Yeah, sure.
Yeah, I have a question.
Mhm.
You showed us the part where you have the integration with Jenkins. Is it because you are trying to run using browser stack?
So if I'm trying to run this locally, I don't have to do that, right? I can just set
Right,
the path where I have Chrome driver and can use it.
right. Absolutely.
Okay, yeah. And I have one question, like this session is going to be uploaded on YouTube, so are our names and all displayed there, or will this be removed?
So that you can ask to DevLabs only. I don't have any answer.
Yeah, I hope if they
I will
answer,
just close this chat for.
because
If you have
we don't
told me
know, like,
before, I have closed it.
yeah, because when I try to sign in, it took my organization's account, so we may not know what they.
Even
Uh,
if this is a problem, you don't have to say in this because this is get recorded.
yeah, I request that the team to cut this.
Okay.
That's it.
Yeah, sure.
Yeah, I have a doubt. Like, as I've shown that Selenium can be integrated with Robotium, all these things.
Mhm.
Can you please try to explain how to integrate with APM and other tools if we can do it? So, like,
So you,
because
mhm.
yeah, I make a project by integrating it with JMeter. So I want to know that what other tools we can integrate with
So
Selenium.
yeah. So to answer your question, yeah, we can, like, for mobile you have, you can use the APM, right? And for robot, then we have some robot framework and all that you can use. But here, how to integrate with them, that is not related with this seminar. So I don't want, like, we can take it maybe later. You can connect with me offline. I will help you for setting it up and all. But as of now, it will confuse other as well because you have used JMeter for performance testing and all, right? So for others, it
Mm.
is not at
Yes,
all
yes,
useful.
yes.
So we can take it, yeah, right?
Yeah, okay,
Later.
okay, yes.
Yeah,
Yeah, thank you.
yeah, sure. So is there any question or should we wind up the session?
Just one last question. Thanks, Yash, for the session. Generally, we have different environments like production, UAT, and QA
Right,
environments. So
right.
we do parameterize the tests. So I have seen
Mhm.
sometimes -d Maven command is
Correct,
there.
correct,
So
correct.
from where do we read those variables? Is it from pom.xml and in the
Mm,
properties?
No. Not
Uh,
in from. You can create one, let's suppose config.properties class, right? In which you can give some value to the browser equals to Chrome. And then we have in Java like get property, right? Through which you can write one Java class through which you will, this file handling system in Java, right?
yes, yeah.
So through which you can take it from there and then you can use it. And or else if your system or your organization is following command line argument to take it, right, then you can create one. I will just show you. As you can see, right, this is the test runner that I've created, right? You can see this edit configuration option. My screen is visible, right?
Yes, yeah. It's visible.
So yeah, in this edit configuration, you can use some VM options, right? This is VM option like -EA, right? Then you can give multiple options, some environment variables if you want to add and all, right? That you can give it here, right? And else you can give from here command line argument, this from system terminal also you can give -d equals to Chrome. You will be having some command, right, to run your scripts and all. That also you can give from here the value and then your system can take it.
Okay, I think I'm already using this edit configuration, but I'm not sure whether it's a capability of IDE or it's that
Just the
we have
capability of
some.
ID only.
Oh, all
You can
right.
set it up, yeah. Or using
Okay.
program if you want to do it, like you can give it in properties file, right? And from there you will take it. And then based on the variable it will set, it will like, then you have this browser
But
factory pattern,
then
like
I
how to,
have to write some code like if
right.
environment is QA,
That's what
then
I'm
read
saying.
this X
Yeah,
proper X
right,
file, otherwise
right,
read this Y file, right?
right. That you
Oh,
have to do.
okay. Thank you. Yeah.
Sure.
Yash,
Mhm.
Krish here. I'll ask you a easy question. Is there any other course you are teaching right now with DevLabs
So
or
I'm
anything
taking
planned?
1-to-1. Yeah, I'm taking 1-to-1 session of Java with DevLabs as of now.
1-to-1. Oh, that'll be great. And can you give me the link of that or your contact information where I can reach out to you or that join that probably? So I'm looking
My
for a
search team
one-to-one
will
session. I
reach out to you. We have a couple of programs, okay, Java automation, and then we have a Asset program. So you can either send your requirement on email ID, or my sales team will reach out to you. Just drop your contact detail.
Sure. Yeah. Like I said, I am not looking for any course. 1-to-1 session would be great for me, and I'll drop an email.
So it's not only the course, right? It's going to be working session. Either it's 1-to-1 or you want to into group. So all the options are available. It's totally depending on your requirement. Okay. So we will able to help you out.
Thank you. I went to the website. The Autobot is not really that helpful. So yeah, I'll send an email.
So we will able to help you. That's why we have these kind of the sessions. Okay. Either you ping me your details. My name is Ketan, and I will ask my team to reach out to you.
Okay. I'll drop an email.
So they will reach out to you. They will understand your requirement, and then we will align the trainer, either yes or someone else. So who will make sure your needs are getting fulfilled.
Thank you very much. Thank you. And thanks a lot, Yash, and your knowledge is great. Thank you very much.
That's fine. But Krish, as you said, it's very hard question, right, that you have asked. So DevLabs have to answer it.
No problem. I asked if you are already actively taking any other course, so I can see if I can join there.
Right, right. DevLabs will
okay.
definitely give all the contacts and every details to you.
Sure. Yeah. Thank you very much.
Yeah. Thanks, Krish. Okay, so we are almost time is done, completed. So I hope you have enjoyed the session, or at least for some of you guys have learned 10% of it. So it's great. So thank you so much, guys. Take care, stay safe, and okay, bye bye. Great learning. Okay.
Thank you.
Have a great day. Thank you very much. Bye bye.
Thanks a lot.
Bye. Thank you, Ash. Bye.
Thanks. Bye.
Bye.